That's some good music.
Oh man, I'm glad you like that.
Dude,
Kinda,
I want
Man,
the
it
name. I like the name of
reminded
that
me of
song.
Sex in the City.
yeah, that was Trendy. Trendy made that banner for me.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully Jerry will try to hop back on.
Yep.
Man,
I was just chatting to him in your other one, and then he's like, "Oh, he's got a new link, so he's coming."
Okay, good, good. Welcome to the show. Anybody out there who's watching, and let me. I guess I would put chat. Okay. I'd go to comments. Okay, here we go. So I don't know if anybody else out there is watching, but give me a hello in the chat if you could hear me. Otherwise, it's just the three of us, unless Jerry pops back on. So we'll start with men, ladies first. Tell us where you're from and your experiences with Stable Swap if you want.
Okay. Well, as you already know, I'm from Australia. You could probably pick the accent. In the state New South Wales. So most people tend to know where Sydney is. We're about 8 hours north from Sydney by car. And yeah, I can't remember when I started. I started a few months ago with Jim. Oh gosh, I'm well over my 100 days for my first one. I probably started 4 months ago. So slowly getting up there, just taking it slow and steady because it's not going anywhere. So yeah, but I'm enjoying it. It's I've got a couple of people I've helped, I've introduced, and they're all loving it. So, and I just love that you sort of sit back and just watch your balance grow every day and don't have to do anything.
That's great. And so obviously you comfortable with the privatization and possibly just shutting off new members completely?
Yep, I think that's great. Just goes to show that they don't need to have new members coming in to be able to pay out the money. I've been obviously we've all been in different things that haven't worked out well and, end up being Ponzi schemes and stuff like that. So, yeah, it just goes to show that we can still be earning money and they're not relying on new members. So just another tick in the box. So many boxes ticked, but yeah, I think that's a good point. That the good thing that they've done.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's I still, when you talk to people about it, it's hard for them to wrap their heads around it, especially if they're not even in crypto. But I agree with you. I think that the privatization and the talks of possibly, just shutting off new members, and I don't know if that means, there'll be certain periods of time that they'll open it up or then close it or open it up. But I believe I caught bits and pieces of the last live stream from the Alakazul show, and it looks like Danny said he wanted to kind of gauge how well the system performs and pays out with the current members and liquidity that we have, and so far it's performed phenomenally, I think. Juan, where are you from, buddy?
Yeah, I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Okay, cool, man. You're not far from John Howard.
John Howard?
Yeah, he's a Stable Swap member. He's in Austin.
Oh, is he? All right.
And then there's Tony Morrow and LCM. I believe they are out of Houston, maybe. I think they said Houston.
Okay.
So we have quite a few people out of Texas in Stable Swap.
Okay. Nice.
Big state.
It's a big state. It sure is. It takes quite a distance to get anywhere.
Yeah, there's that old saying, the sun will rise and the sun will set, and we're not out of Texas yet. When you're driving.
That's true. If I drive from Dallas to El Paso, it's a different time zone in the
Yeah,
same state,
yeah, yeah.
and it's at least a 10-hour drive.
Yeah, my wife is from Juarez, Mexico.
Oh, okay,
La
okay.
Ciudad, yeah, Chihuahua,
So,
and we drive there a couple times a year, and
nice.
I love it in Juarez. People say, "Man, you're crazy for going there," but I don't know why. I just love it there.
Well, if you know where you're going, it's like any place else. If you know where you're going, you'll be fine. You
Yeah,
know, stay away
exactly.
from shady corners and dark alleys, and you'll probably be okay. It's like anywhere else. You know.
Yeah, I talked to a guy said he and his wife were there, and they were in El Centro, the downtown. I don't know if you've been to Juarez or not.
No, I've been to El Paso. I haven't been. I mean, I went over to Juarez, but just not enough to know it.
And they were shopping for shirts, and they were looking for a certain kind, and the guy was like, "Well, we have some more at our warehouse," and they fell for it. They took him in the back corner, like you said, and made them give him their wallet and everything. And I was like, "Dude, why would you fall for that?" I mean,
Stay in the light, my friend. Stay in the light.
so how long you been in Stable Swap, man?
Almost going on 7 days, 6, 7 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, well,
So what got me here, if you want my testimony on this, was I was with another one, and it was a rug pull. It didn't work out, right? And so what I learned from it, every time I'm seeing this, what's caught my eye is I think I'm learning how to understand what is going to stick and what's not, and what is starting to make sense and what not. I think, and I align myself with Jim because I think Jim's on the pulse all the time. It's amazing how he's on the pulse. So I connected with them, and I just liked kind of where he was at. I think he does his best to do his due diligence to the best that it can be done, and then from there, poof, here we are.
you mean Passive Income 411, Jim Ware?
Yeah.
Yeah. He. I started watching him back in the drip days, and he just seemed to explain things really slowly and
Yeah.
everything. And I was really glad when he came into Stable Swap. I came in a little bit before him, and I tried hitting him up on YouTube and said it was like, come check out Stable Swap, but he probably didn't know who I was and thought I was a scammer, but someone else got him in, and I was really interested on how he would react to Stable Swap, and he freaking loved it, man. Now he's like a super mod and everything, so that's cool.
Yeah. I hope this thing sticks around for a while. I mean, who knows? But it looks like it's got some. So we'll see.
Yeah, I met Danny before Stable Swap in the Crypto Collective TG
Oh, did you?
group. Yeah.
Okay.
And what caught my attention is I found out they were the founders of FTR, which means F the rug. I don't want to cuss, but
Okay.
And they were all about educating the community and trying to help people understand crypto and stay away from things that could rug or could get them wrecked. And so when he explained Stable Swap to me, I was like, man, I love the whole concept. And
Sure.
they he and his partners, they want and need this thing to be around for a while for all the plans that they have, and so that they're on this, they have the same intentions as us. And I guess the one thing that gave me a real solid feeling about it is the time and money that they spent developing this program and obtaining the licenses and employees and the office. I mean, it's a lot more than the liquidity that we have, maybe 10 or 20 times more. So why would, why would somebody who spent, or why would people who spent hundreds of millions millions of dollars developing a project, just rug it for a few million because they would lose more than anybody.
Right.
That's the way I look at it.
Well, it seems reasonable. When I was looking at the numbers, like when you think of liquidity, that's a lot like in the stock market, like options, right? All that is basic liquidity to the market. And when you think of percentages you can talk with,
yeah, you kind of broke out a little bit, but
all my liquidity essentially is what it is, and so as liquidity, you get compensated.
Yeah, bro, you I don't know if you're using a phone or a laptop or what type of internet, but you're frozen. Okay, yeah. It might just be your signal, or if you can there you go. There now we got you. All right.
I was just saying.
Yeah, you're frozen again. You might want to try. Can you connect your phone to a Wi-Fi?
Maybe. Let me try that.
Because you were talking about liquidity with the stock market. Basically, I know only what I've learned. Being in the protocol, our liquidity fills orders on the OTC side. There's a buy and a sell, so the liquidity is taken and put back, and therefore they roll out our liquidity over and over again. And as you probably know, and everybody else knows, the fees that they charge over on the OTC, that's what pays our rewards. And, you get a lot of fudders out there, they'll say, we don't believe that. They need new people and this and that. And that's what pushed Danny to make it private. And now maybe even cutting off new members altogether. That's a big, bold statement. And I actually had a fudder jump on my channel the other day. I guess he was pissed off about the privatization and him cutting off new members. And you could just tell by his remarks that he really didn't know much about the project. And he was just going off Danny this, Danny that. And but you could tell he's just pissed off because he probably can't get in.
Yeah. I actually noticed that there's been zero, people messaging me now in Telegram that are, trying to, no, I just used to block and, report them and block them and delete them. But that going across to our own chat where they can't get in not getting any sort of people trying to sell any sort of scam to you anymore, which has been great.
Yeah, that's been a big breath of fresh air. It certainly has. It's not as much drama. It might be a little bit more boring, but, it's not exciting when you get hacked or something because you clicked on a link.
I don't know. I think there's enough entertainment in the chat like there was yesterday or the day before. The Barbie, that was the Barbie chat with the, the barbecue or whatever you guys call it over there. That was quite entertaining.
Oh, we lost Juan. I don't know where he might pop back. But Jerry, man, your internet seems to be working great, buddy.
You know what? I'm happy to hear that. On the weekend with the Alec Azul chat, I couldn't even connect with the live stream. So, and I'm on a new. It's not new, but I have because I'm living in China, of course, where the YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, etc. are all restricted. So I need a VPN, and I've changed VPN. There's several that I can use. Some of them are blocked, some of them aren't. But this new one, for example, when I open a browser, it seems to take 30 or 40 seconds in order for things to load. Min was already back in this new chat with you in this new stream, and I was still on the old one trying to leave. And it was like, so that's what I typed to you. I said, I'm trying to get in, but it takes time. But At least it's working. All right, so I want to give you my thoughts on this, the whole liquidity thing. What would be your take if, for example, people talk about this liquidity is turned over several times a day? What would your thinking on it is if everybody that bought stablecoin from their fiat currency, so the Philippines, so their peso, and they held it for 7 days. They didn't transfer it, they didn't cash it out, so there would be no more fees, only their buying fees. Now, I suspect personally that StableSwap, Danny, and the team have kept enough in the balance on the backside to be able to continue to pay rewards for a long time. I don't think there's any danger in that. But nobody ever seems to address that question. What would happen if, for example, everybody just held for 7 days?
It may be that the volume that, you know, what prompted them to create this program is they were already working with Top One, you know, doing other things. It may have been coding or developing. And being that it's such a huge industry, my understanding is, okay, somebody takes their peso and they buy crypto, or they send it to a family member or whatever. Now, if that person buys crypto with their peso, obviously they're not going to turn around and sell it. Maybe they hold that crypto for a month or 2 months or a year, but then somebody else comes in right behind them and sells their crypto. And what you're asking is if every single person in the Philippines or the other countries that's using the OTC would buy crypto and hold it for 7 days and there would be no transactions. I mean, to me, that would, in an industry that big, it seems like that would be almost impossible. Okay. Am I right? Am I thinking on that?
I don't know. What do you think, man?
Oh, I think there'd always be someone selling, buy, sell,
No, but
buy, sell.
all I'm saying is, let's put it in a box where for 7 days there are only purchase transactions, and so for that 7 period of 1 week, nobody sells, nobody transfers. So there is no fluctuation, there is no movement, there is no income.
I'm sure they, you know.
Well, I'm not trying to be negative here. In no way, I believe in the program, or I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be alive with you on chat if I didn't. I 100% believe in this system, and I believe they have worked out this system in the back end to be able to continue regardless of what that would be for, again, a period of 7 days.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I've never asked or would ask or been shown the actual books or ledgers from the OTC. You know, and no big company is going to do that anyway.
I agree, and it's as this is a private opportunity. We're not stakeholders. If we were stakeholders, that's a whole different thing. We are customers or clients of them, users. So we have no right to look at their books or to request it. And I have no, I trust Danny. I don't trust only Danny because he's part of a system. StableSwap is not a one guy deal. But I trust him as the face of this operation that it is 100% legit. They've got the Top UN Tech information out there. They've got their personal thing. He does his live streams. He does his, when it used to be private or public, he would have his YouTube and his Telegram open to everybody. So I have no doubt about it that it's 100% legit. I belong to a different program that used to be private. They've gone the other way from what Danny's doing. They used to be private, and now I think they're open by invite. I don't know if they're open to the whole world yet. But they use our money we set goals, 90 days, 180 days, or 360 days, and we get our rewards daily are based on their trading results. Now, I've been in it since October of 2022. I've been pretty quiet about it. In the last maybe year, they introduced their own token. And they now make a promise, and I don't know how they're going to do this. Their token is dirt cheap to buy on Uniswap. You could buy like 20,000 of their tokens for $25. And I bought last week, I bought 20,000 of them and I staked them. And they tell me that running through a 180-day stake or goal, they will parity them to a US dollar. And I have no idea how they plan to do that. And so Danny doesn't have at this point in time, Danny doesn't have a stable swap token. And I hope he never introduces one. I hope he always stays with this whole US dollar thing. Because I don't understand the tokens and fluctuating dollars and how they can make a guarantee that, oh, it's going to become $1 to $1 or a token to $1. I don't understand it.
Well, you know, it's like I have an annuity. I've had it for years. And I'm sure if I called them up or went to their office and said, hey, I want to see all the books, they'd laugh at me or escort me out. But Danny's done a good job. He's the face of Stable Swap. In the beginning, his other partner, Crypto Lucky, I think you've seen him before. If you go back and look at the Stable Swap pre-launch AMA with Danny and Crypto Lucky, Crypto Lucky, he's pretty quiet, but when he talks, it's a little bit more into the technical side, but what he explained is being that they were working, I believe, with the Filipino government and helping Top Wallet or Top One set up a user base for the Filipino citizens to move or transfer money. And that's when they learned of the liquidity providing. And then they saw the huge demand there. And, people, bottom line is people get into crypto. In order to get out, they're going to need liquidity and other transactions as well. But it's not just a Stable Swap or Top One or Top Wallet. It's not just limited to the crypto. Now they're marketing with the retail market, setting up user-based systems for their bill pay and their customers to use, and all that feeds in. Having said that, they, the way Crypto Lucky put it, and I really liked it, was, most DeFi protocols or dApps, they set up a DeFi project, and they have to attract users to get liquidity so they can pay other people. So they have to set up a project and attract users. Stable Swap, it was created to fill a big $92 billion industry demand that was already there. It's the other way around. And, I took the guys on their word for that. He did share with me some of the cost involved to set up Stable Swap. And they've been setting this up. It didn't happen overnight or a few months ago. This has been in the works for a few years, which is pretty cool because when I met Danny in the Crypto Collective, we would have live streams, and he never, even though they were getting close to launching Stable Swap, he never shielded, never talked about it. He never even said, hey guys, hold on to your money. We got something big coming. So how in the world he did that? Because me, I would have been busting at the seams. I could.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have. I don't know if I could have kept my mouth shut that long.
You and me both on that one, brother. You and me both.
So it's natural to say, man, they're going private, no new members. Why all these changes? But the best you can do is go back, go check out the live streams, and and hear it from the horse's mouth. I mean, that's something else we have that most projects don't have. All the other projects that I was in, most of them have rugged. You had no way to communicate with the dev, much less get on a live stream and talk to them, or take a trip to the PI or to the Philippines and go visit them at the home office. And it just seems like the last few days I've had a lot of FUD and negativity, from family members, that kind of stuff. And, I don't like to say I'm a super religious person, but, I'm in the insurance business. So when I'm driving to go see customers, I'll listen to YouTube or whatever. So I'll listen to a couple preachers every now and then. And for some reason, it hit the spot today because I had this fudder, man, comment on my last video. And, it was kind of immature-ish. Clev Trev, if you're out there watching. But first off, if you don't like a project, right, and you just think it's garbage, and you don't like the dev, you don't like the people, then why are you even in the chat, or why are you even watching the videos or whatever? Because there's plenty of projects out there that I do not like, would never jump into them, but I don't go into their chats and start trying to change their mind or give them my opinion or whatever. So, but he came in and said that. Then I had some family members, and I can sit here and say, well, look, I've taken this much money out already, and here's this guy who is ROI'd and been paying his bills with Stable Swap. But the preacher I was listening to, he was telling a story out of the Bible about a guy named I think it's Nehemiah. I guess God had spoke to him to rebuild a wall or a city, and the more progress he made, the more adversity he got, from everybody. And he said that I guess he said what Nehemiah would do when the opposition or the hate or discouragement would become overwhelming, he would put his head down and pray, then he would go back to work. He wouldn't take time. He wouldn't stop and argue with them. He wouldn't try and state his case. He wouldn't try to change their mind. He just, and so Stable Swap, yeah, it does sound too good to be true, but I've heard the dev, Danny, and Crypto Lucky, and the mechanics have been explained to me, and I like it, and I'm glad to be here, And, Danny did say, he said, he and other people, big wig, it's a business, and there are no guarantees in life. Businesses can fail, highly unlikely. So, the best you can do is get in the Stable Swap, get to where you can take some decent rewards and diversify. And I guess, like with anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's cool. So, Jerry, you got in the Stable Swap in January. Is that correct?
March 2nd.
Okay.
And John Howard, you mentioned him earlier when John was on the screen with us. John's my upline.
Okay, Juan?
Yeah, no, I said John Howard is my upline.
Okay.
While Juan was on the screen with us, you mentioned John Howard being in Austin, I think it is. And he's my personal upline. Usually we talk on Facebook, but John and I have been in a few different platforms together over the years.
Okay.
And we still are in some of them.
Let me just say hello to everybody in the chat. We got
Sure.
Huss. What's going on, brother man? Blade, glad to have you in here. I know this is kind of a spur of the moment. We wanted to see if Jerry's internet would work. And it's
And
working
happy to
great.
report it's working. Hey, there's LCM.
LCM.
Now, what
And
does LCM stand for? Do you know, Chip?
Well, I know the last name is Morrow. So
Okay, I don't know. I see
Maybe
all these
it's-
things and I have no idea.
maybe it's Larry Cochran Morrow. I don't know.
Okay.
Then his beautiful wife, Tony Morrow, is on there. And Dunte's Investments. What's going on, guy? And Crypto Savage says he was on the fence for 6 months and I was the reason he got in. That's pretty cool, man. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, you know what? Again, it's a testament to you. It's a testament to how transparent you are, Chip. You are not afraid to show your actual investment or your stakes. You know, there's some people out there that they won't show back end office at all. They'll just talk and talk and talk. But you actually will show yours. You're proud of being over, I don't remember how many of your, what was it, 13,000 that you originally deposited 1,000 at a time or staked 1,000 at a time. How many of them have now ROI?
Yeah, about 5 or no, I think I counted on my
I
last
think you had
video.
8 the last
like 8
time I
or 9.
watched the video or
It
something.
was like 8 of them, you know. 8 of them, and they still got 3 months of earning daily profits before they expire. Now,
Yeah.
Men, you said you've been in for 2 months.
No, probably about 4. Sorry, I was just trying to find something. I haven't got any. The kids must have eaten them all. Just when you
It's all
said
good.
LCM, just when you said LCM, we have these bars over here in Australia. I don't know if you guys have got them, but they're called LCMs, literally LCMs. They're like
Wow.
a like a rice bubble sort of bar, and they have like different flavors, unicorn, chocolate, whatever. But yeah, I was gonna put it up and show you guys.
Hold
Just
on
when
a
you said
moment.
what is LCM.
Well, you
Yeah, about 4 months, I think. I got in with Jim Weir as well. I was in something else with him, and I was the same. I was in a chat with him, and he was so great with these videos and doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, he was very. Have you got LCM bar? What's that one? No, those are different. Oh, what's that?
that's
Yeah,
in
no, those are
Chinese.
different. They're more for kids. Kids.
Well, it's some kind of you mentioned it's a rice bar of some kind, and yeah, of course, it's
rice
Chinese.
bubbles.
I live in
No,
China.
yeah, rice bubbles. Rice bubbles. You guys have
Um,
rice bubbles over there, don't you?
I
No? Is that an
don't know.
Australian thing too?
I would have to see it and share it with my wife to know. I'm not a snack guy really. These are hers. I bought them the other day for her. I have to go return them.
Men, do you know Dripology, Nelly Tall? He's from Australia.
No.
Nelly Tall.
No.
Well, when I was in Drip,
Oh, sorry for the distraction. I'm back. All right.
I started making videos, and Nelly, he was Dripology, and now he's Drip Ottergy, like otter, like an otter, Dripology,
Otter.
the NFA show.
Yep.
And I guess I put out a couple videos, and he said, "Hey, I like your videos. I liked his," and he invited me into the Crypto Collective TG group, and you know they were all about education and trying to help people understand crypto more and try to help people not get rugged and everything, and which was good because him inviting me in there ended up that's how I learned of Danny and eventually Stable Swap. But a lot of good resources in the Crypto Collective, like they got Drip Millions over there. He's up to speed on all the DripX stuff and Wrap Drip and SwapX. And then You got Crypto Tiger. He's a big Pulse X guy, and P Die, and when it comes to DGen plays, I think he's at the top of the game, and which I just it'd be cool to be able to navigate that stuff and make money. And it would be fun. If I was retired, I could see myself doing that. But I run my own business, and, it's like that takes up most of my day. And then Stable Swap. And I did get into 8-bit, which, it's pretty cool. And I trust those devs over there. But, Stable Swap is my main play. And but back to your question, yeah, I came in, I moved all the other crypto I had over and during the early bird, which was about 13K. And then I started dollar cost averaging just for a couple months to my rewards build up, and probably another 10K worth. So I got 23K in, but my rewards are over 26. I did compound most of them, but it's still, the numbers don't lie. It proves that a person can ROI in this program pretty easy. And we got over 6 months. So that says a lot in crypto. Yeah. 6 months is a long time in crypto, right?
Absolutely.
But yeah, Nelly Drip Odyssey, I was just curious. He's out of Australia, and he's in Stable Swap and some other stuff. And he was doing a lot of videos. I think he's going to start doing them again,
Okay.
When is your trip to, are you still planning to go? When is your trip, if you are, to the Philippines?
Yeah, I want to go. A couple things I have to do is I've been training my son and daughter-in-law and another agent in the business that I have. And I'm sorry about the dog barking in the background.
No, it's all good.
But I want to be able to step away for where I can, leave everything for a couple of weeks. And I'm thinking by mid-June we should be there. Then I'll take a look at my schedule and go from there.
Be aware of in the summer, about the weather in the Philippines is typhoon season too. So you might want to maybe delay if you can till probably late August.
When I was younger, when I was in the Marine Corps, I spent a good bit of time in the Philippines, and I'm sure it's changed a lot. I was in Olongapo, Angeles. I went to Bataan, and Baguio. I never went to Manila, so it'd be cool to go there and check out Manila. And that's been a long time ago, but I remember the rainy season. It rains a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling Min a little bit earlier while we were on that other live stream, we didn't know that you had canceled that one and came to this one. I was telling her a little bit of personal reasons why I had to pass on the Philippines, with not only with you on this trip, but also looks like I can't go to the anniversary. My wife is Chinese native. She's Chinese. And from her experience and other people that she knows, as well as stories online, a lot of Chinese people, when they land in the Philippines, are treated substandard, if you will. Some of them are even kidnapped and held for ransom on dollars. And if the money isn't sent, they're never heard from again. And she's not willing to risk her life over going to some party, to visit. And she's like, there's too many other countries in the world and too many other safe countries in the world for her comfort zone. And I said, you know what? If I want to disregard my wife, then why am I married and been living here with her for the last 15 years? So I said, you know what? We'll choose a different place. And that's when I mentioned in the chat, hey, let's go to, the Australia in the winter, our winter. So, their summertime. And somebody, I don't remember if it was Min or somebody else, said, well, that's the school holiday. So why don't you maybe delay rather than January, go maybe the end of February when kids are going back to school. So it'll be like I mentioned it to my wife, and she said, "Yeah, no problem. You know, we are retired, and so we have the rest of our life, and so you know, we would rather go to a safe place that she's comfortable, I'm comfortable, and so you know, I have to lay it out there. I'm gonna skip the anniversary, and the main reason is that's her birthday. The anniversary day is her birthday. I really wanted to go and celebrate with everybody in Stable Swap that was there. But again, I'm not going to risk it. And the last time I traveled on her birthday, COVID happened around the world. And it was like I was in Canada. She was back here in China doing her paperwork for retirement. And it was like, man, COVID, forget it. So I came back here. I managed to get in. 3 or 4 days later, they locked the borders.
Yeah.
So it would have been like a year at least. I wouldn't have been able to get back in, and she wouldn't have been able to get out. So we were really, really fortunate. So it's hurting my heart, but at the same time, I'm doing it for the love of my wife, and so I have no problem with that.
Happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? And she feels the same way with me. You know, she was talking to somebody last night on her mobile phone on an app that she uses, and she was saying, like, if it wasn't for the relationship I have with my husband, I would probably change my life. And she says, like, we're happy. We're, you know, and every single day. And it's like, why bicker? There's no need for it.
Yeah.
If you're not happy, find out why you're not happy and change that. We just bought this new condo. I'd love to be on my mobile phone and show you guys around, but I can't. You know, I'm streaming on the laptop, but we just bought this new condo, and somebody again negative. Well, that's the 5th floor, and yet my family was like, well, that's an excellent reason for exercise up and down the stairs a couple times a day, because we don't use elevators here. I mean, they do, but in our building there's no elevator, and we're on floor 5. So walk up 64 stairs, walk down 64, you know, a couple times a day, and go for a walk while you're outside.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Men.
So I'm gonna have to miss the face to face with you, but we can obviously do it online anyway.
Yes.
But you know,
well, the thing is, I told Danny in the beginning. I said I have to ask my wife to come. You know, because same as you. I mean, you know, you got to be happy, and of course, I want her to come with me and us enjoy it together. But my mother-in-law lives in Juarez, Mexico, and she gave us her house. Okay. And so she may be going there, and my brother-in-law and other family members, they want to fix up the house. So when we go there, it's a nice place to stay. And see, Nelly from Drip Otergy, he wanted me to hook up with him over there and us go hook up with Danny. So if my wife says she doesn't want to go to the Philippines, which we'll have that figured out pretty soon, I'll probably make plans to meet Nelly over there, and we'll just do a guys thing, you know. Are you married, men?
Yeah. Yep. Married with 2 kids.
Oh man.
So we've just
I was listening to Jerry talk about making sure, you know, his wife comes first, and I said, happy wife, happy life. You know, I heard this story. They say it was a seminar one time, and it was about married couples. And the guy leading the seminar, he says, I want 2 lines. I want the men who let their wife run the household in this line. Then I want the men who run their household over in this line. So everybody except for one guy went to where the woman runs the household. One guy stood in the line and said, where the men who run their household. And the guy, the counselor said, man, you're the only guy that runs your household. What do you do different? He said, I don't know. My wife told me to come stand over here. I know that's a corny joke, right? But yeah, man, you know, with Stable Swap, all the changes, I like it. definitely counting on it to help, move to a better financial state. And I don't have any doubts about it, you know, regardless of the FUD or whatnot.
Mhm. Mhm. Min, you mentioned that you've been in it for 4 months. Does your husband also have an account, or are you just combined into one account?
No, I just opened an account for him last promo. I thought, and it's really just going to be for the kids.
Okay.
They're only, not that it matters the age, but they're 11 and 9. But it's really like, instead of me putting, like, I put money in their accounts every month, and I'll just still put money in their normal bank account, but then just sort of put a little bit of that aside in stable swap in my husband's account, and then just let that grow. So it's in his name for the reason, as I said, it doesn't matter because with the age thing here, but I still just wanted to have it set up that it was in an account that was, over 18. But yeah, so I've just sort of, it's just really an account for the kids, for later on, for whenever, I don't know. But yeah, so he's got an account, but not that he really knows about it. I just control it. Like with other
Fair
things.
enough.
But
A question for, okay, I have another question for both of you, and this has to do with withdrawals and taxation, or like with crypto in Australia. I know the government is really, really 100% hard and fast rules on getting
I'm
money
just going to
to
grab
your
a beer.
bank. Sure, no worries. Money to the bank from your crypto.
Okay, so
Correct?
you're asking about the taxation of
Well, no,
crypto?
what I'm saying is in Australia, I have another friend named Catherine who is not in Stable Swap yet. She's hoping to be able to get in. She and her husband own a small farm somewhere in Australia. I don't know the city name, but she's in this other platform that I'm in with her. We've been in it for a while, and she's getting ready to do some withdrawals. And she said that the Australia government makes it really, really that you have to pay taxes on every time you withdraw. And I don't know exactly all the system of how it works. I have yet to do a withdrawal, and on that other platform, I have about $40,000 worth of goals right now that are growing astronomically every single day. And I don't know what the rules are. And me, as a Canadian living abroad, they don't even know whether they report it to the Canadian government or they report it to the Chinese government. And so I said, well, I don't know. So I'm asking you two to share your experience if there is such a thing.
Yeah, it's, once again, I'm not giving any tax advice.
No.
But there are ways around what you declare. Obviously, if it's going through an exchange and then going back to your bank account, then that's pretty hard to hide. But there are other options out there where it doesn't need to go into your bank account. If you get my drift, there are other options, other like crypto cards you can use, and things like that you can sort of. We pay enough tax here in Australia. I think we've got the highest rate of tax anywhere in the world that we pay.
Yeah, it's astronomical.
We pay quite a bit, and sometimes it's nice to get a tax break now and then. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Fair enough.
Because this is going out into the wide world. This video.
And 100%, I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Creative.
That's not my goal. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can be creative with what you do. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I'll pass this along to her because she is really worried about it. She struggles with money, and she's like, if I lose 50 or 55% of what I cash out, that's a huge hit to her. But I'll let her know that's why I asked. So
Well,
thank you.
if she's just like me, I haven't done any withdrawals. Depends on everyone's goal is different. But if you're just compounding, like putting the money back in once you've got the 25, it's never, it's never going through anywhere else. It's staying in the system. So yeah, she doesn't have to declare that. Like it's just
No.
well,
It's about this other platform that she's going to be doing a
Oh,
withdrawal after June 1st. They've had it open
yeah,
in the past. They closed it temporarily while they're doing some structural changes, and they're going to open it again June 1st. So it's from this other platform, and she wants to bring some of it into StableSwap. But it was so this whole card thing will be likely work for her unless she needs to build a fence or something along that on her property. So okay,
yeah.
Chip, what about you?
Well, my excuse me, my CPA, he's in crypto, and he said, well, sort of the capital gains rule of thumb. If you've made more than what you paid in, that's a capital gain. Okay, so you know, but if you and so I got into, well, if a project pays you a daily reward and you choose not to put that in your pocket but compound it, do you count that on? If you keep a ledger, does that count towards what you've paid in? And he said absolutely. And so one thing is, if you keep a QuickBooks or a spreadsheet or a ledger, and you can document what you paid in and what you've taken out and used to pay bills or put in your pocket, as long as you're at a loss, you don't have to report it. Then you can get into stuff like an S corp or self-employed, the write-offs. So, let's say I go to the Philippines and I go sit in a class, or I talk to Danny or whatever. That's a business trip. I'm going to write off the plane ticket. I'm going to write off the meals. I'm going to write off the hotel. I'm going to write off everything. And I've been doing that for years with my insurance business. So with my CPA, I'm pretty sure he keeps me in line pretty good. So I'm not really sweating it. And like Min said, you can be creative, but you can be legally creative. Do you have an office in your house that you use when you do your crypto stuff? Well, technically, can you write off your house payment because that's your crypto office? Every time you go out to eat or you go somewhere or visit a family member and you try to make it a point to try to talk to them. I mean, I know some people, I got one friend, Big T, he'll go play golf with his buddies and he'll ask them if they're interested in crypto. And if they say no, he'll just have them initial. Can you initial right here that you're not interested in the crypto? I'm trying to, write off everything, man. But, I'm not giving any advice, just like men. I'm just sharing with some of the stuff I hear from different people, my CPA and other people that are in crypto and the stuff that they do, I don't know if that helps you.
Yeah, sure it does. Because again, I can for me personally, I have to, when it comes time to withdraw, I don't know which. I mean, if I do USDT, no problem. It goes to my whatever wallet I happen to use, and then it'll go to an exchange to Canadian dollars. I just put it in my bank, and I don't pay taxes in Canada. Luckily for me, I don't pay taxes around the world other than whatever I happen to buy and they put sales tax on. I haven't paid taxes in years. Probably more than 15 years I haven't paid any tax at all.
I mean, I just thought that, we go to Mexico all the time. What if I just go to a Mexican bank and open up an account there and get a debit card and have my crypto rewards go to that bank. Just use the debit card here to get cash. I mean, I'm just,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
these are just conversations.
Creative.
I'm not doing it, but it makes you think.
Yeah, sure. If you were going to lose 40, 50, 60% of your cash out money, then you might sure want to take that trip across the border.
But I also look at it this way: if you're paying tax, you're making money. So
Absolutely. Now, what about, okay, you talked about rug pulls. What about can you write off rug pulls because you did an investment?
I would say yes. I mean, that would,
Okay.
whatever you put in that investment in your QuickBooks or your spreadsheet or whatever, that shows as what you've paid in. You've already counted that in what you've paid in. So you're not going to get any of that money back. So I guess trying to find a silver lining, that helps to you not showing a gain
Balancing
but a
your
loss.
money, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm speculating. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
of
my
course.
way of thinking. I'm not a CPA or a tax attorney or anything like that.
And these are not these are questions from you personally to me personally, so that I can share with a friend who I know is struggling with this, and she doesn't want to have to go to the whole CPA thing and spend more money to ask questions. And I said, well, I would ask, because I know people, especially in Australia, that her country, and I said, well, I'll ask for some other alternatives. And so that works. The other thing I told her is, if she can cash out to my bank and then I can just do an international transfer to her and it's not income anymore. And so there are options out there.
So you guys are in Hong Kong?
No, we're in mainland China. It's a city called Harbin. It's in the northeast corner of China.
I'll salute
In
everybody.
actual China itself. What kind of beer is that? American beer or Mexican beer?
Mexican, that's Modelo Especial.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It's
Okay.
I'm just I really love this beer, but I only drink about 1 or 2 a week of this. It's very fattening.
Okay.
No, the only beer I know are Coronas over here.
Yeah, Coronas are great. You just have to drink them with the lime,
Yep, like a slice of lime. Except aren't they only 50 cents or $1 in Mexico for a Corona? We probably pay $9 or $10 here for one. It's ridiculous. Like if you go out to a bar. So yeah.
Do you ever watch
I don't.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what the dollar to RMB or CNY is Australia to China right now, but U.S. dollars I pay 15 cents for a beer at home, like in the store here. If I go out to a bar, I'm probably paying $1. So, probably a dollar, maybe $1.25 Australian for a beer at a restaurant or bar.
Bloody hell, that's cheap.
It is.
Really?
You can live here comfortably on $500 US a month, and not paying rent. I mean, we own our own home. We don't have condo fees. We pay electricity. We pay cooking gas. We pay water. And we pay a maintenance fee for the neighborhood, but easily you can live on. And this is not just eating at home, but it's going out once in a while to eat. But $500 a month is reasonable to live here.
Man, that's.
And you know what? As a foreigner, Chinese people have not all around the world, but they have a bad reputation around the world for hating foreigners. Well, I'll tell you what, I've been in this country since 2008. My first time here was 1981. I came back in 2006 and I moved here in 2008. And I have been treated like a king. People go out of the way to help. regardless of language is no longer a barrier. I can speak Chinese. I'm not fluent by any means, but I hear you speak Mexican or Spanish, I guess it would be. But I'm not fluent, but yet people are willing to listen to me. People are absolutely willing to help me. So I have no problems whatsoever living my life here. Feel safe. Everywhere I go, I feel safe. I've never had any threatening situation to me, which is very, very fortunate.
Yeah, my wife's nephew, he's like 40 years old, and I've known him for about 8 years, and he's never spoke English around me, so I assumed he couldn't speak English.
Okay.
So over the last 8 years, we spent a lot of time together, and I'm always speaking to him in Spanish, and sometimes our conversations struggle because my Spanish isn't perfect. Then I have to understand what he's saying. But, so about 6 months ago, they live in Nashville, and he's never spoke English or tried around me. So we're driving to a concert, and he's sitting in the back seat. He's a painter, so I guess the contractor that sends him work is American. So I guess he called him about a job. And just as perfect and clear, I heard him go, "Hello, my friend. Oh, the sheetrock is ready." I'm like, "You son of a bitch. You've been making me struggle all these years, and you speak freaking English?" Like,
That's amazing. Hey, Tony Morrow, that comment, let me check with my wife. Hold on.
Fajitas.
So have you ever listened to Fluffy, the comedian, men?
No. Where is he from?
Well, he's from America. He's a big Mexican guy.
Okay.
Famous comedian, but he was talking about when he went to Australia. So he says he goes into a bar and he's trying to blend in, and and I don't have a good Australian accent, but the bar's like, "Can I help you, mate?" And Fluffy was like, "Yeah, I'll take a Foster's." And he said the bartender the bartender was like, "Ah, you fancy the taste of piss now, do you?"
Foster's is not good. I'm a bit, I don't know. I only drink beer now and then, but I like the craft beers a bit better than just the mainstream, like your 4X Gold or those ones. But I was just looking at the conversion. What we sort of pay for a more premium beer is probably around $6
Okay.
at a bar.
At a store?
Yeah, I know.
Man, that would be at a shop?
No, at a bar. Like if you went out to a pub or
Okay.
bar, whatever you want to call them. We call them pubs over here. A bar, that's what, or a restaurant, that's what you'd sort of pay roughly. So, I don't tend to drink too much beer. I'm more of a gin and tonic person. That's my drink of choice.
I love gin, but I don't know, man. For white guys, Caucasians, if we drink too much gin, we get those. When your nose swells up, they call them gin blossoms. So I quit drinking it. I used to be crazy. I love a gin and 7 or a gin and tonic with a lime, and it gets you good and wasted, but you can still function pretty good. Which, on that note, last weekend we went to Nashville, or in Tennessee. We went to a winery, and they grow their own grapes and make their own wine. And the wine was real sweet. It tasted harmless, and we started drinking a lot of it. And you know what a blackout is? Have you ever heard that term?
Yeah, sure.
A blackout is when you get so wasted, it's like your spirit leaves your body. You wake up the next day, you don't remember anything, and people start telling you all the stuff you did. So I just, it's like you're watching a TV show and somebody just turns off the TV. Like we're sitting there
Yeah.
drinking. I actually put a picture on the.
Was it red or white?
It was red.
Yeah, see,
And-
that's probably 13%, 14%.
And
Yeah.
I remember sitting at the table. Then after that, nothing. And I woke up in the bed. My wife and I both blacked out. They said both of us at the winery, both of us, there was a hill that was kind of muddy. They said we both fell and rolled down the hill. And there was they got a police car there. They're just making sure nobody that's too drunk is going to drive.
Yeah.
And my nephew, the one I was talking about earlier, he said the policeman came up to me and asked if I was going to drive. And I guess my nephew told him, no, I'll drive. And then I woke up the next day and, man, I didn't remember nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Wine's pretty potent. I remember when we were on our honeymoon, we went to Europe and we were in Croatia, and we sat down because it's hot. We had a beer, and I mean I was fine, but my hubby goes, "Oh, gee, I feel a bit, lightheaded after that." And later that night, we went out for dinner, and we were looking at the drinks menu to see, what we wanted to drink, and that beer that he'd had was something like 13 or 14%. So no wonder he felt a bit lightheaded, because we're used to maybe 4-5% beer over here, like here in Australia, but over there it was like 13 or 14%, which is just like wine. That's how potent it is. But I didn't really notice much of a any difference. But yeah, I've never seen beer that high a percentage before.
Yeah, I was looking at Blade 28 here. It says he's from Germany. And, man, I was stationed in Germany for a few years right outside of Baumholder. And what's cool about Germans, you can go to a gas house or a pub. And, being American, you can walk in there, buy the first round. You say, hey, I want to buy everybody around. Let me tell you something. That you won't spend any more money after that. Number one, they'll start buying you drinks, everybody else, but then they know Americans can't drink like them, so they like to watch us get really wasted and make fools of ourselves.
We're in Germany, not last Christmas, the Christmas before. We were overseas for 6 weeks. We did a white Christmas, and we went to Munich, and we went to one of the big what's Hofbrauhaus or something. It's quite well known in Germany, and oh my god, it was pretty good. So although when you're traveling with kids, you've got to sort of make sure that you wake up fresh the next day. Certainly, the beer's a lot different over there as well. But it was good. It was good to just go to one of those big places with the halls, and everyone having their pork knuckle and sauerkraut and whatever else. Because my background, my mum's actually Polish, so that's sort of food that I'm sort of used to eating. But then sort of after you've been over there for a few weeks, you sort of get sick of schnitzels. But it's pretty
schnitzels and
all that. But it was pretty amazing. It's good to take the kids over there. Like we tripped around. We had Christmas in Austria and went skiing, and we just wanted to do a white Christmas. So it was pretty good. 6 weeks is a long time to be away. It was good to get home.
You know what?
It's just
you said pretty good. I actually remember how to say very good in German. Sehr gut. Sehr gut.
Sehr good.
And I remember, ich möchte ein Bratwurst mit Pommes frites, bitte. That's all I remember.
Translate it, please. What does it mean?
Well, a bratwurst, the brats, the sausages with the bread, like a big hot dog with French fries.
Okay.
Yeah, bratwurst.
Yeah.
That's brats, and then mit, I guess, is with, and then pommes frites is French fries. Yeah.
French fries. Yeah, no, pommes frites is potato or French fries. Yeah, No, it was good.
Man,
It was
you
good because the other thing that was good over there is all the Christmas markets they have, which go around. That's where you eat all the different food. Sorry, it's nearly my lunchtime. I'm actually starting to feel hungry now.
Well, you know,
Man, you mentioned pig knuckle. What are you talking about?
Pork
The pig's foot or?
Yeah, the pork knuckle, the big knuckle. It's slow
knuckle.
cooked and it's really nice with
Yeah,
mashed potato and the sauerkraut.
my wife eats, well, I mean, typical. She eats the pig feet. She eats the pig's ears. And like, it's like I don't even want to look at it, let alone eat it.
Yeah, man.
There's so many foods here I'm afraid of.
Well, they here they've got farms where they will raise pigs, but they'll only feed them a certain type of grain,
Yeah,
and
sure.
the meat is so different. I mean, it's a little expensive, but if you buy like half of a pig, the meat it's totally different. It's almost like a deer meat or something, you know,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah,
so
it
gamey.
definitely, and we have eggs the same way. We have different, different colored different colored shells, and the yolks are different colors as well. I mean, they're all yellow, but a huge difference in the color and the quality of the taste, and yet not a huge difference in price.
Yeah, I guess on the back to Germany where I was at, they only had about 2-3 months of sunshine. So during that time, they wouldn't waste. The bars would move all their seats and tables outside, and I rented the first floor of a 2-story house, and my landlord at the time, he was probably my age now, almost 60. But man, I came home one day and he's weed eating in Speedos outside. I'm like, man. But I noticed when they did have sunshine, man, they really soaked it up, Well, cool. We've been going about an hour and 12 minutes. Anything you guys want to talk about before we start winding down?
I
No, I
want
think
you to
we've.
talk about that other platform that you're in. You said Trainwreck, or no? What did you call? I don't remember what you called it.
8-bit.
Something. Okay, sure. Talk about it a little bit. I'm not in it, and I'm not in a position to be in it financially. I'm trying to keep a limit. One of my friends during the promo, he sponsored me. He gave me $100, and he said, "Well, would you like a loan of so that you can top up some of the promo?" And I said, "Sure." So what I've done is yesterday from my daily rewards, I did a internal transfer to him. The first of 4, I'm going to do 25 each.
Man, what you talking about? You just said you were living like a king on $500 a month, man.
I'm not using external funds. I'm using internal funds. There's a difference.
I'm just busting your chops.
It's all good. But you know what? Again, going back to the happy life, happy wife, or happy wife, happy life. My wife has her investments offline, and she earns reasonable. And I don't understand how it all works, but she gets her earning percentage, and then she gets a percentage of that percentage every year. So she's earning on her earnings, and she's been doing that, rolling it over for years. But we paid cash for this home, and so we've done something well.
Yeah, you guys are doing good. I tell you what.
Go ahead and talk about your 8-bit for a moment, if you would.
Men, are you familiar with 8-bit?
I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar with it.
Well, Lee, he was Driptopian. Now he's Cryptopian. Scott the Investor, and Keith, who is Unmade Sugar, who I met through Danny. These guys have been in they've been in this DeFi space for a while, and I know that Lee and Scott the Investor, when Drip, these guys, man, they were busting their ass, man, trying to help boost drip. You know, it was just so much adversity, and drip had to make its changes. And so obviously they eventually just had to say, okay, you know, we all got bills to pay. So they started looking at other things, and they've been yield farming for about a half a year. And I learned all this just simply by listening to their YouTube videos. And they've, with the yield farming, which you both, I assume, have a basic understanding of what that is, probably more than myself. They've learned how to farm, yield farm, and maintain, you know, a profitable APR. And a lot of people, I'm sure, want to know, well, what coins are you farming, or on what dexes or exchanges? And of course, they're not going to give that away because people will try to fork them. But bottom line is, for somebody like me who really doesn't have time to learn it, if I wanted to learn how to go on Pancake Swap, at one time, Danny recommended I learned it. So I believe it was Crypto Mischief. I watched his tutorial several times. You know, you want to go pair, you know, let's say a stable coin with another coin, and you can farm it, but you have to manually set your parameters. Okay. But if a coin that you've farmed or paired with another one, if they go too low, you can lose. If they go too high, you can lose. So you say, okay, I'm going to widen my parameters. Then because you've got a wider parameter, you get a lower APR. So if you say, okay, I'm a shorten my parameters and get a higher APR, but you got more risk that you could go out of that range. So it'd be cool to learn, and I'm sure I will. But these guys have obviously, they've dialed in where to farm and how, and set the parameters, and so they can meet the daily APRs that they've offered. I followed these guys in drip for a long time, and I know how hard they've worked. So, you know, I didn't go in heavy like I did with Stable Swap, but I've been putting like, you know, $50 or $100 a week, you know, kind of watching it. And obviously, the longer it goes and the better it does, I'll put more in. And really simple, you you just go to, I believe it's 8-Bit Farm Online. I can't remember what the site is, and connect it to your wallet, have the USDT in your wallet, and choose which pool you want to go in. They've got like a 60-day or 150-day. I don't know. I could try to share my screen here. Hold on.
Do they offer the same ROI or daily rewards, or are they different on your different pool?
I'm gonna try to share my screen here.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
I don't know about you, Min, but he lost me when he mentioned yield farming.
Okay, well,
No, I have heard of yield farming.
Okay. Well, then I'm one of the three of us that I never even heard that expression before. But
hold
that's
on.
all good. I can look it up later.
Well, I should have opened it up already.
It's all good, man. Don't worry.
But 8-Bit, if you go with the 250-day, it's 0.33% a day.
Okay.
Then if you go, it's like Stable Swap. You got 3 pools. I think a 60-day is like 0.11. Then you got like a 150-day. It's like 0.25.
Okay.
So I actually did a video on it. I'll do another one. But it's pretty cool. And I wanted to support those guys. And, you know, so far it's been doing everything that it's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. I think I got $350 staked in there and been in there about 3-4 weeks. I got like $15. So you got to have like 20 to compound it.
Okay.
But yeah, well, I'm gonna have to close out, guys. But Min, anything you wanted to talk about?
No, all good. I thought I'd jump on it. It's nice to, actually meet you guys in person. So,
Man,
yeah. Well, it's sort of in person over video. I could still, nice to put a face to the name.
yeah,
Well, I see your face obviously up pop up, but Telegram's a bit different, so you don't know, who's who, or you don't know really their names.
Pleasure to
Because
meet you.
half of them are
and chat with you.
half of them are something crypto. I was interested to know what Fuzzy's real name is. Fuzzy Crypto. I think
well,
I was chatting to him. He helped me out. He helped me out with an invite code yesterday. So I was tempted to say, what does Fuzzy stand for? Everyone's got these different names. I'm just like, well, I'm just Min. So just my name.
well, it's an honor to have you both on here. I'm gonna play my outro, then close out, and maybe we'll see
right.
you guys on the Alakazul show Saturday if they have a
Yes.
show.
It's Sunday morning for Min and I, but yeah, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Take care then, folks.
Good
No
night.
worries. Thanks for having me.
Thank
See
you,
ya.
everyone, for coming on the stream.